Jack. Jack, you can either sit right there or you can sit up here. Okay? Here we go, everyone. Ready, Joseph? Here we go. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to UU Miami. We are going to start today's service by singing Joy in the Morning. And this is from the UUA's new virtual hymnal that was launched at the General Assembly service. So I'm going to welcome everyone to come in, find a seat. Hello to everyone who's joining us on the live stream. Feel free to grab a chalice or a candle, anyone on the live stream, so you can light it while we're lighting our chalice. And everyone, please, on the back table, if you want the sheet music for Joy in the Morning, feel free to grab it. There's also 2 other hymns we're going to be doing. But for now, let's rise, please, in body and or spirit. And the words for the hymn will be projected on the screen. Thank you. What fun. Buenos dias and good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Miami. My name is Jane Thayer. I am a white, middle-aged woman with dark hair pulled back. I'm wearing a blue and white sky-looking top and my yellow membership lanyard. That's a visual description for accessibility. And up here on the chancel, I am joined by our pianist, Joseph Toledo. And you'll see my kid, Jack Thayer, over there in the back. For those of you who attend regularly, you know that what we're about. For those of you who are new or haven't been here in a while, we are a group of liberal thinkers and actors. We have strong feelings on plenty of issues, and we work to do good here in the world. And we like to learn. We're glad you're here. You'll notice that our worship committee is leading Sunday services these days. Their job is to support and strengthen our shared ministry. And this is a time when being in community is critical. If you're new and would like to learn more about UU Miami, please find our contact information on the screen. We've got social media, UUC Miami. You can email communications at uumiami.org. Head to our website, uumiami.org. Or you can speak to someone with one of these yellow lanyards after the service. It is our tradition as a Unitarian Universalist congregation to light a chalice at the beginning of our services. These words are from Reverend Scott Taylor. Notice now this flame, seemingly so singular, flickering, unfettered, dancing all alone. Yet pull back, look with more attentive eyes, and slowly the chalice cup comes into view. And the air, while unseen, keeps the flame alive. All of it a reminder that being lovingly surrounded and beautifully bound is what sets us free. May this be the gift of our precious hour. May we too pull back, and see ourselves anew. How tenderly tethered we've become, and how wonderfully that has set us free. And please now, together, join me in our unison affirmation, first in English and then in Spanish. The words will be projected on the screen. Love is the spirit of this faith, and service is its prayer. In love, we agree to dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, and to help one another. El amor es el espíritu de nuestra fe, y el servicio es su oración. En amor acordamos vivir unidos en paz, buscar el conocimiento en libertad y ayudarnos el uno al otro. Just take this little guy. I'm going to say. So now we are going to share joys and sorrows that may be in our hearts. As a community, we support you both in your grief. We're going to back up a little bit, and I need to put this in highlighted bold letters that we're going to quietly sit and listen to music first. A generous offering from our beloved pianist. Now, no, not that. Now, we are going to share. Please remember this is live streamed, so those online can share in the chat. This is the moment to voice your joys and concerns, and we will keep all of them in our hearts as a community.
Good morning, I'm Bob Jacober. I come here every Sunday for the love and warmth of our UU Miami Sunday tribal gatherings to enjoy the search for meaning in society in the year 2025, for me to determine my best possible participation in it, my best possible contribution to it, and when it is appropriate for me to do that. I like to spread joy. I enjoy hearing from people of all kinds of backgrounds, ages, and philosophies, so we can all find ways to enjoy being with each other, for each other, and contributing to each other with wisdom and empathy and love. I also honor our great military, protecting us 24/7. Without it, we would need to study Chinese or Russian. Speaking and acting from a position of strength and wisdom for worldwide peace is, for me, our best chance for us all on the world to survive and prosper. Jesus said, "Find the truth and it shall set you free." So the fascists hung him on a cross and threw rocks at him. Let's not do that. When someone tells us something that makes us feel uncomfortable, we may learn from it. Namaste. May the part deep within me that is at peace with the universe meet the part deep within you that is at peace with the universe, and may we be as one. Namaste.
As usual, I get to follow up that. Good morning, I'm CJ Weber. Nice to see you all again, and the joy I have to share this morning, and also thank you to everyone connected to me online on social media, Facebook, etc., who wished me a happy birthday yesterday. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey, 57 trips around the sun, and hopefully many more.
Happy birthday to Yay, yay, yay. Joy, joy, joy. We share very much in these joys, and we support these sorrows expressed and those not expressed, but very much with us. Let us sing once more. We're going to sing together a song called Pass on the Light. This one is also from the virtual hymnal. Please, and we've got the music in the back if that's what you like to follow along with. Please rise in body and or spirit. The words will be projected on the screen. Here we go. See one tiny spark, still small and bright, and hands cupped around to shield its light. A single flame born of desire, faces turned towards its glow. Pass on the light, pass on the light, long may it shine, steady and strong. Pass on the light, pass on the light, from night to dawn, carry The circle of light grows as it's passed from young hands to old and back again, sharing youth's wonder, wisdom of age, spreading love as it goes. Pass on the light, pass on the light, long may it shine, steady and strong. Pass on the light, pass on the light, from hand to hand, carry it on. And still it shines on, year unto year, from one tiny spark to become clear, each generation lighting our way, forward bright through the night. Pass on the light, pass on the light, long may it shine, steady and strong. Pass on the light, pass on the light, from heart to heart, carry it on. Carry it on. Be quiet. What are we doing now? We're gonna watch a video in just a moment, but that was one of the hymns from the virtual hymnal release that Bonnie Petticourt really loved, so I wanted to add it in there. But now, check out the video.
We often call Unitarian Universalism a living tradition, a faith grounded in abiding, transcendent values whose structures and practices continually evolve to meet whatever moment we happen to be living in. Across time, Unitarian Universalism has offered clarity and moral courage in direct opposition to the death machines of authoritarianism and violence and fear. Our faith is life-saving, and through history we have been powerful agents of liberation and moral imagination when we have aligned our energy and acted decisively together. Unitarian Universalists are feeling called to that kind of impactful, shared work again. Because the stakes of this moment are so incredibly high. But we don't yet fully know how to do that. Not our members, not our congregational leaders, not the UUA. The landscape has shifted immensely, even from 10 or 5 or 1 year ago. So it's not surprising that some of the structures that we designed for living out Unitarian Universalism in other eras are not calibrated for this moment. Our justice organizing against white Christian nationalism in 2025 can't use the same tactics we did for Black Lives Matter or civil rights or suffrage. Families whose kids are digital natives, who were shaped by the pandemic and who are programmed 24/7 with activities, those families have different faith formation needs than their parents and grandparents did. The post-war church model that depended on massive volunteer labor and pledges from members with reliable, stable incomes, it's not able to sustain our congregations anymore. So yet again, Unitarian Universalism is facing a reckoning. We know our values are an antidote to fascism, to extractive capitalism, to xenophobia and anti-trans violence and climate devastation. And we have to evolve. To sunset what's no longer serving us, to deepen into what is working well, and to innovate new solutions with courage and creativity. Meet the Moment is a framework to help Unitarian Universalists do this together. To bring the right people into the right conversations at the right time, to make sense of what we're witnessing, to identify urgent challenges and important opportunities, and to figure out how we will show up, grounded in our values, with the skills and partnerships we need to be impactful in shaping change. Now, to do this, the UUA and other partners will be offering virtual and in-person opportunities for Unitarian Universalists across the faith to dive into data, to hear from experts and innovators, to grow our shared assessment about the moment we are navigating and what is happening. We have created facilitation guides to host Meet the Moment conversations about the topics that are most urgent and important in your own congregations. And starting in the fall of 2025, our most creative, most faithful leaders from across the UU ecosystem will be offering wave cohorts, practice groups, where people will be invited to learn and innovate and practice new ways of embodying many aspects of our living tradition together in these times. The threats and the challenges are immense, but so are the opportunities. Unitarian Universalism is ready to meet this moment courageously, skillfully, with love at the center. Will you join us?
So that was the introduction that we watched in one of these General Assembly wave cohorts that I joined. And the one that I specifically joined, I'll get to that in a moment. What you heard is that the Meet the Moment framework is UUA-wide, a framework helping Unitarian Universalists analyze, discern, and take values-based action in response to today's religious, cultural, generational, and political realities. So I'm going to lead little mini workshops similar to the ones that I participated in, have a chance for folks to discuss some of these questions that were brought up. Let's see. The framework helps us to move from reflection to learning to action. And that very often, for me at least, in so many different communities, that's the hard part. Moving from ideas, from wants, from desires, to making the thing happen. So at GA, we came together in these small cohorts, we collaborated. After GA, there's going to be new wave cohorts. And so pretty soon I'll share a link with you where if you want more information about how to join one of these cohorts, group of people that are thinking about these ideas and coming to action, you can. But for now, these cohorts we're examining, they came together in the spring to examine plenty of different questions. and important ideas that the UUA has been considering. Some of these cohorts included meeting the needs of parents as whole beings, queer and trans welcoming, inclusion, and belonging, worship, the collective practice of meaning making, and the one that I joined was called Shaping Our Emerging UU Future. The description of that cohort was, how might we invite UU communities of all kinds to innovate? Innovation is not just about our communities surviving, but also about meeting the spiritual needs of more people who are in desperate need of community. There are so many people, as you heard in the video, out there who are less inclined nowadays to join congregations and whose spiritual needs have been underserved. So how might we, here specifically, UU Miami, support the innovators who have taken the lead in meeting these needs? So there are three questions that sort of ground us in the framework of Meet the Moment. The first one, you see on the screen, what is the moment we are in? I would love us together to explore this question. So what we're about to do now is you can gather up with the people that are near you or find another group nearby. No need to rearrange chairs. We're just going to have short conversations. If you have someone who wants to, and then after, we'll reflect back out, and I will share some of the notes and impressions that I took away from having the same exact conversation at General Assembly. So you can talk about what is the moment we're in with the box of the world, or you can talk about our community, our Unitarian Universalist community here in Miami, or you can talk about your own private spirituality. Think about all these different ways that we can look at what is the moment that we're in. And so we're going to take maybe 4 minutes or so, 4 minutes to huddle up with folks and think about this question, what is the moment that we are in? And that will be followed by what are the important needs of this moment and what should we do in response to this moment. But right now we're looking at characteristics and realities and trends that are shaping the world around us. So please, we're going to take 4 minutes, break out into conversation groups, and we'll report back in just a moment. Okay, let's bring conversation to a bit of a close, and we can share out. So some of the ding, ding, ding. All right, let's come back together. No need to move. We're gonna keep having conversations, so no need to move. But a few things. If anyone has anything they want to share out about where we are, what is the moment that we're in? Anyone, raise your hand. I will bring the microphone to you. I'm gonna go to Jack, and then I'll come back to you, Bob. There you go.
What we came up with was that we are in precarious times, and how do we respond as Unitarians that appear to be doing the work of a deity? Oh, is that my phone? Oh, good. And that there's so many complexities to that question. How do you respond? To whom do you respond? And sometimes you feel like you're going mad because it's never been this way. Is that the summary of what we spoke of? You want to?
Okay, so Bernard brings up a religious point of view in that he believes in God, right? So we sometimes have to say, well, can we look at it and say we are doing God's work in what a religious person would think is the underlying basis of God's work, which would be doing good and being humane and caring for people. So we're on all different levels that we all want the same thing.
Love it.
The Statue of Liberty speaks directly to me. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Send the homeless tempest tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. And right now our current administration has just shoved that aside and trampled all our freedoms.
Want to just very quickly say that in our discussion, something Nina brought forward is that this moment for certain is a very strong and yet uncertain moment in history.
We're going to have two more questions to assess as well. Let's have one more comment.
Yeah, I'm sick. I have a little cold, so that's why I'm isolating over here, but it's nice to see everybody. Buenos dias, I'm Judy Echeverria, and I just wanted to use the word vulnerability. And my moment is about vulnerability, but with vulnerability, I know and I strongly believe that that is where love can be found. And without vulnerability, we sacrifice that opportunity. That's where I went.
So some of the comments that I heard in our cohort from UUs across the country for this moment, that yes, there's too much to focus on. Oh, and this question also has the heart of a James Baldwin quote, "Nothing can change unless it is faced." So this is a very important first step of where are we, what is happening. So religion, here's another quote from someone in the cohort, "Religion is for living in the meantime, and this is a very mean time." that one of the things in the moment is that we're aching for different ways and needing lots of nurturing and space to experiment. I think that speaks to vulnerability, needing a place where we can be nurtured. It's a time of needing commitment to joy and more spaces to linger, less rushing, more being together. So we're going to move on to this next question. That segues us to this next question. What are the most urgent and important needs of the moment? These are opportunities and challenges and barriers that are created by the moment that we're in. So amongst yourselves, please take a few minutes to discuss what are the most urgent and important needs of this moment that we've just defined. Okay, everyone, let's wrap up the comment at the moment. And we're going to move into a reflecting out amongst each other. I'd love to hear from maybe two more people that we haven't heard from yet. So if someone wants to reflect out, I will come to you with the microphone. So these are urgent and important needs of the moment.
As a summary of our group, hi everybody, I'm Christine. As a summary for our group, there are a couple topics that really hurt our hearts and one of them primarily being the immigrant community and how they're being treated. I wanted to add on top of that of what our community needs most right now, I think, is community. And so even just this space for us to talk to each other about what we're seeing at, sad things you see at Home Depot or whatever it is, you don't feel as crazy when you hear other people are just as upset and frustrated as you are. And I love the space just to have a sense check of being like, oh wait, yes, this is messed up.
We're gonna move quickly on to the third question. I just want to speak out. I want to speak out some of the response that was shared in the cohort about urgent needs and opportunities. The three things that sort of the leaders of this cohort shared is that there is an urgent need to respond. It's also an opportunity. We need to humanize everyone. We need to find common ground. We need to celebrate who we are and celebrate diversity. We need to strengthen our community care muscles. We need to, this was a little technical, do some asset mapping and what resources we can share and pool and support our community with. We also need to consider self-care, resting, hydrating, praying, playing. Moving at the speed of panic doesn't help us. And we also need to push forward because we, Unitarian Universalists, were made for a time like this. So a little bit of hope at the end of that session. The third question, very quickly for you to discuss, what do our values call us to do in response to this moment? This is us defining our lane and our charge. What are we most compelled, equipped, and or positioned to do in response to the time and the needs? What can we do? So take a few moments to discuss amongst yourselves, and we will report back in a second. All right, everyone. Let's close up the conversation. We can have a moment to reflect out if anyone wants to share. Anyone want to share on this question? What can we do? It's not compulsory, but I'm going to bring the microphone over to CJ and hear a little bit about their conversation.
Well, speaking of our conversation, which takes place mostly through Google Translate, as I'm sure you're aware, it occurs to me something that UUA, that publishes the thing that I just saw online thanks to the QR code, I don't think they have a Spanish translation. I think someone at the UUA should really get on that, especially considering those are the folks we're trying to keep from getting abducted by the guys with no badges and masks.
Good point. Maybe I'll look into that. I can share some of the, a little bit more about this cohort very quickly because we are running out of time. That this question, again, these cohorts had been meeting throughout the spring. This question brought in some prototype building. There was 4 different prototypes that we were looking at in how to shape our emerging UU future. One was a nationwide network for youth. Another one was how to resource innovators to spend time developing new ideas. The one that I broke off and had conversation about was churches to community centers. And the last one, no one in our group was very excited about. It was about virtual platforms for connection. And no one at the General Assembly in our group was very excited about that. But there's definitely a place for that. So some things that folks said about what we can do, how our values are calling to us to respond. Of course, collective care, checking in, showing up, becoming more deeply faithful in our practice. One person, there was a lot of conversation about folks are maybe a little deterred from religion, and so how can we build space that brings people into the fold who aren't really interested in being here on a Sunday? One of the conversations was, what if growing doesn't actually means more than butts and seats on a Sunday morning? We don't have to, we can sort of think outside of the church box. But someone, on the other hand, said maybe we need to claim religion. We need to tell our story of faith so we don't cede religion to the far right. There is a religion that is for liberal thinkers. Anyway, all of these ideas to say that we need to stay connected, we need to create what we want, not just resist what we don't want. Authoritarianism wants us to feel alone, and we must stay connected. So this idea of community center, offering opportunities to be in space with people that are not just about religion, about spirituality. And one of the things that came out of this a lot for me, and when I'm doing the climate justice revival dialogues, is this, what are the barriers to innovation and perfectionism and needing it to be right the first time, and all of that idea and ethos is definitely a barrier, I feel, to innovation. And there was a lot of conversation about 50% of innovation is failure, or even more probably, and the compost pile of, it was a metaphor through all of GA, the compost pile of what we've tried and what didn't work, and building from that better innovation. And of course, the practice of centering all of our work and all of our community building around love. So I just wanted to give a little hint, a little conversation into some of the ideas that were percolating. The QR code that was on the screen is the website of the Meet the Moment framework. There are videos exploring each of those questions from UUA leadership point of view. Feel free to come back together in the space. Yep, there's the QR code. You can also sign up for their newsletters, and everyone here could become part of a WAVE cohort that's examining this stuff, these topics going into the next year. Feel free to come back together because we're going to head into a little meditation to ground us before we head out. Where's my page? There it is. All right. Here we go. Take a moment, make yourself comfortable as you'd like as you enter meditation. Use those ideas that we were just talking about, or feel free to let them drift out of your mind. Take a breath and let go. Let go of the idea that you know what breathing should feel like. Just notice the breath as it moves in and out of the body. Let go of certainty. Be with the breath as it is. Allow openness. Allow curiosity. Be loving in your curiosity about each thought. Let go of certainty. Let go of any idea about what you should be thinking. Accept your thoughts exactly as they are. Be with yourself as you are. Be curious about who you are. Love how you are in the world. Gently take a deep breath, maybe even a big sigh. Re-enter the present moment and the stream of your life. Thank you, everyone. Let's now make an offering to UU Miami to help us grow more generous in spirit and action. Please donate by scanning the QR code, or if you're in the sanctuary, you have the option of placing your offering in the basket being passed around. Your gifts will now most gratefully be received. Okie doke. A few brief announcements before we close out. Thank you, and gratitude for everyone who makes UU Miami work and run, and from our dedicated staff to our steadfast volunteers, we thank you, we appreciate you, and we see and feel your devotion. Special thanks to Joseph for accompanying our hymns and providing our beautiful music. Thank you, Derek, for running our AV and live stream. And thanks to you all for joining here today and on the live stream. Thank you. In the next 2 weeks, July 6th and the 13th, we'll welcome a guest speaker in the pulpit. Reverend Dr. Harold Marrero works with Safe Schools South Florida and will be joining us. So please come back for those services. Today, we will have a small lunch. Most of the summer, we'll be having bocatitos and little snacks, but today, Chris has whipped up a jambalaya. Thank you. And following lunch, we will have a drum circle in the Emerson room. The virtual hymnal sparked a little conversation between Bonnie and I. Maybe we need to add a little community sing element to our drum circle, or maybe community sing separately. If anyone's interested, raise your hand or see me later. It might be nice to do some singing together outside of the service. We do have lots coming up. Tuesday at 5:30, we host Safe Schools Heroes Hangout. Wednesday at 11, we have a meeting of our Conscious Aging group. Next Sunday, July 6th, is the Social Justice Community meeting after the service. And lastly, last thing to say, Sue Baskin is a beloved member of was a beloved member of UU Miami. Also a renowned youth mentor and religious education director here at UU Miami. She departed and passed on June 16th, 2025. Jack, please come here. Hold my hand. Sue Baskin was an incomparable soul, mother, sister, wife, grandmother, aunt, teacher, friend, and mentor. The Baskins share their love with all who will miss her. There is an online memorial via Zoom. You can look into your Connections e-newsletter for that link. That will be on July 8th, and there's also an address in the newsletter where you can send condolences. Those are the announcements. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Let's close out today with one last song from the UU Virtual Hymnal. It is called If There Ain't Room for Me. The words will be up on the screen, and the music is there in the back. Let us sing. If there ain't room for me, if there ain't room for you, if there ain't room for me and you, that ain't the space for me, that ain't the place for me. If there ain't room for me and you. People talk inclusivity, inherent worth and dignity. So you gotta make room for this faith to grow on. 'Cause if there ain't room for me, that ain't the space for we. You gotta make room for this faith to grow on. If my neighbor can't go, if the stranger can't go, if the neighbor and the stranger can't go, that ain't the place for me, that ain't the space for me. Siding with love is the way for you and me. People who love make room. Siding with love, they will make room for a beloved community. That is the place for me. Siding with love, make room. Widen up the circle, make room. That is the space for me and you. That is the space for me and you. You gotta make room for we are. Or something like that. Thanks for singing along. Thanks for being here. As we depart this time together with renewed vigor for meeting the moment, please greet those around you, especially those you don't know well, and thank you for sharing time together.